60 Sports on Trust TV. Adeni Jishafe. We're trying to take you around the world of sports. We just saw that our star girl, Favour Ofili, she's battle ready for tonight, 200-meter race, where she'll be competing against world champion when it comes to 100 meters women, Julian Alfred of a very small island, where she came first for our country. Although that race will be coming up tonight, and we just can't wait to see what Ofili will be doing. Even though she could not race in the 100 meters, there's still hope that Ofili will do us proud in 200 meters, and Nigerians can't wait for that particular race that will be coming up later. Well, we'll be focusing on Team Nigeria performance for yesterday, day 10, and also looking at schedule for today, day 11, at the Olympics taking place in Paris in 2024. Well, welcome you on the show once again, and we'll be running through all those stories trending in the world of sport, and we'll be having our guests join us from Akure, Ondo State. Isaac Afolabi will be joining us any moment. And right now, we start with the first story that has to do with wrestling. Well, yesterday was a big day for Blessing Oborodudu. She fought her way, but she could not make it to the final. But right now, she'll be competing in the repechage to at least see how she can make it in the bronze, for the bronze medal rather. But right now, Wrestling Federation applauds Oborodudu's despite defeat in semi-final race. Even though in that particular fight in wrestling, she tried her best, but she couldn't do it. But right now, she will be fighting today to see how she will do well in that particular sport of wrestling. Now, let's join Isaac Afolabi from Akure, Ondo State. Isaac Afolabi, good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Adeni. It's always a pleasure to join you to talk sports. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, good one there. You look like those politicians.
Thank you for the
anyway, let's talk some sports. We're talking about Blessing Oborodudu. Yesterday was a fight in the race for the finals, but she could not do it. At the last Olympics, she came second, winning silver, but this time around, she'll be fighting for bronze medal. Nigerians are also hoping that at least at least let's see what she'll be getting today. At least she will just be fighting for vain, and getting to fight a repechage for bronze medal is not a bad one. After all, she still tried her best. Well, the Wrestling Federation of Nigeria, they've applauded her for the fact that she was able to do it against all odds in that fight against Sumanarova that happened yesterday.
Yes, I want to join the Wrestling Federation to commend her for that fight, despite the fact that she lost to her opponent. It was not an easy one, and we are rooting for her to do well today and get the bronze medal. Remember, at the last edition, she came second, getting the silver for Nigeria. At this time around, she'll be going for bronze. Yes, to many wrestling fans, the expectations are high because the Nigerian Wrestling Federation is one of the most active federations when it comes to sport development in Nigeria. We can't just hide that fact. So we expect a lot from them. Notwithstanding, she has done well. We have to commend her and we have to support her and give her all the backing to go for bronze this time around. So for me, I think Blessing Oborodudu will go all out tonight to get a bronze medal for Nigeria.
Okay, we're Blessing Oborodudu there for the fact that she will be fighting tonight to see how she can get to win bronze medal. Although this will be a repechage, a tough one it is for her. She came second 4 years ago. Now she's fighting for the top place. We wish her the best there. She has really tried, at least giving us hope that at least Nigeria will get to see the podium finish first. Who knows, maybe she'll be the first person to get that podium finish for Team Nigeria in this Olympics. And now, still talking about Team Nigeria, let's focus on Team Nigeria performance on day 10. Well, it was a tough day for Team Nigeria. A lot of athletes there. Let's look at our focus there. Focus Team Nigeria performance on day 10 at Paris Olympics. That's what we are going to talk about now. That has to do with Favour Ofili. Let's start with Favour Ofili's case first. We know that Ofili has gone through a lot in this tournament for the fact that she was not allowed to run for 100 meters, a race that maybe, who knows, maybe she could have been at the finals with the likes of Julian Alfred, who ran for St. Lucia and also competing high there, but she could not run because of the omission of her name. And now she'll be racing for us in 200 meters. Well, before I will allow you to talk, let's look at a particular tweet coming from Nigerian Gigi Omojua there. Nigeria must probe the absence of Favour Ofili on the 100-meter roster is an act against Nigeria's national interest, coming from Nigerians who are really reacting for the fact that Ofili could not make that 100-meter race. It's so painful because at least she could have given us that hope tonight, but it's a really disheartening situation for Nigerians.
Yeah, Adeni, I think when it comes to international competition, there's still a lot for us as a country to learn. We still have a long way. When you watch this Olympics, you realize that a lot of things are yet to be done, by different federations that are responsible for managing sports in Nigeria. And we need to act very, very fast. I was pained when that news broke that Ofili will not be competing for Nigeria in the 100 meters. Just take a look at it now. She will be competing in the final with the same lady that won the 100 meters. Now looking at it now, it means that Adebin, she was given the opportunity, probably a bronze, maybe a bronze, for Favour Ofili, because she's very, very active. Now, I was listening on a platform by one of the Nigerian Athletics Federation member who was defending while Ofili's name was omitted, from competing for Nigeria at the Olympics. And after looking at all the remarks, the comments, and the rest on the platform, I just smiled. And, there are several ways of punishing athletes. Even if Ofili, did something wrong that you, as a federation, deem it fit that she has done something wrong. I mean, there are several ways of you treating athletes. These are professionals. In national interest, is paramount. That is what we should have, considered, in this kind of competition. Now, Ofili probably will have gotten Nigeria a bronze medal. Now, in the rating now, we have South Africa leading, Kenya followed by Kenya. We have Ethiopia, we have Algeria, we have Uganda. Uganda now having a bronze medal, and Nigeria has yet to record any medal so far in this competition. Now, we have to support her, put aside the distraction, and I'm happy that she has put aside all distraction and she's focusing on getting the medal tonight. For me, I'm a fan of Favour Ofili, and I'm rooting for her to get Nigeria a medal despite the challenges this night.
Well, a big one coming up for Favour Ofili there. Despite all the challenges, she has been able to dust them off, and now she's ready to race tonight in 200-meter race coming from Isaac Afolabi there that joined us from Akure. We're still talking about Team Nigeria, although this is going to be under the day 10. Let's talk about the Tigress. The Tigress, we know what they've done in this competition. They played 3 games against Canada, France, Australia. They were able to win 2 against third place rated by FIBA, Australia. They also defeated Canada against all odds, and they make it to the quarterfinal, becoming the first African nation for men and women to qualify for quarterfinals at the Olympics. That's a big one. No means feat at all. They've done well. You just have to give kudos to our ladies for what they've done in this competition. Although we know that they'll be facing America on Wednesday, and it's a tough one. Who says they can do it? Let's quickly talk about the Tigress. Isaac, their performance at this competition has been a wow for everyone so far.
Outstanding. I must confess, outstanding. I expected nothing less from the Tigress. From the first game, they did so well, and against Australia, defeating Australia, that was the first time Nigerian team will do that. And again, going against another big team at the tournament, Canada. When it comes to basketball, countries like USA, Canada, I mean, these are strong countries when it comes to basketball. Now, for Nigerian ladies to put out a very strong performance, a nice tactics from Coach Wakama to defeat Canada and qualify to that stage, I think these girls deserve all the applause that we need to give to them, and we need to encourage them. This is outstanding. This is what we are saying, that when you give coaches opportunity to tinker the team, to manage the team without any influence, interference, political coloration, or administrative inputs, they will produce the result. Coach Wakama led these girls to the African champions. They did so well. They are the number 1 in Africa. Nobody expected that these girls would go this far. They were the lowest rated team when it comes to basketball at this tournament. And look at where they are now. Despite the fact that we'll be playing the United States of America, who a lot of people have considered to be the most favorite for this Olympics, both male and female, I am still saying that these girls, they've done so well for Nigeria, and they deserve all the applause. Nevertheless, I am still rooting for them. They have the I can do mentality. They have the energy. The Australian coach said something. She said the Nigerian girls were just too physical. I mean, that is adding skills and energy to it, to play football and get the desired results. So I am seeing them putting up that energy into it and playing against the Americans. It will be a difficult game, no doubt about it. But for them to get to this stage, first time in African history, first time in our history, I think they deserve an applaud.
Well, a good one, an applaud for the Tigress there. I'm talking about the Tigress, so let's talk about the coach, Rena Wakama. Rena Wakama has really done well. Within a year, she has turned things around. 32 years old lady. In fact, when she was given that job, some Nigerians were raising who is Rena Wakama? But right now, she has done it. She has really done so well. Let's look at her record so far. Within 1 year with the Tigress there, let's look at Rena Wakama's record with the ladies. Picked up the Tigress, a D Tigress team in disarray, and won Nigerians 4-peat at 2023 Afro Basket, the first female coach to win the Afro Basket title, qualified Nigeria for the Paris Olympics, first coach to lead Nigeria in defeating top 3-rated team Australia at the Olympics, first coach to give the Tigers a win for the first time in 20 years since 2004, and first coach to lead an African team, male or female, to the quarterfinals of the Olympics. What a record. That's a big one coming from Rena Wakama there. Isaac Afula, you want to agree with me that this lady has really turned our basketball around when it comes to the Tigress?
Impressive record by Wakama. You know, when the former coach, I can't remember his name now, the former coach left, a lot of people were very, very optimistic that who is going to take over and manage this thing, because we all know that the Nigerian Basketball Federation, you know, we're having these constant challenges, constant issues, you know. So a lot of people were saying that who is going to come to this, take over these girls and manage this team very well, you know, despite the challenges. But, you know, she has been able to, you know, put up a nice performance, call the girls, put them together, talk to them one-on-one, give them nice recognition, respect, and charging them to go all out to play. And they've done themselves so well now. They've put in themselves in a very, very high standard. Many of them now are getting invitation and contracts with different clubs in Europe. You know, that is it. But one thing I want us to know again, Adeni, is that we must replicate such feats in our domestic basketball league. You know, the Nigerian Basketball League at the moment, the male and the female, they are not really enjoying the best when it comes to constant leagues. You know, the up and down challenges, administrative issues, all of this must be put aside. You know, we must replicate the good outing of these girls. We must have more indigenous players, at least 1 or 2, added into the national team. That is how to grow a national team. That is how to grow football. That's how to grow basketball. That's how to grow every sports in Nigeria.
Well, we've been talking concerning the Tigress for their performance at the Olympics. They've been at least fantastic. In fact, from the way it is, we know that they are going to be facing an equivalent task against USA team. But no one say they can't do it. All they need to do is to believe in themselves and shock the world. And if they are able to beat the US, who says they can't go for this on a podium finish there? The Tigress and their coach, Rena Wakama, has really turned things around. And we just hope that they will spring up some energy and surprises against USA on Wednesday. Well, talking about our Nigerian athletes, Team Nigeria at the Olympics, we talked about Blessing Oborodudu earlier on, but let's talk about Samuel Ogazi. Ogazi will be racing in 400 meters, and really, against all odds, he has also surpassed all the expectations. Nigerians, no one actually believed that we could do this, and it's for a very long time, about 22 years, we've not seen Nigeria racing in 400 meters, and now we are having some young Samuel Ogazi being able to do it for us. The likes of late Sunday Bada was the last set of Nigerians who did this, and now we are having another set of Nigerians coming back to do 400 meters. Isaac.
You know, I'm always impressed when seeing the young athletes that are aspiring, that are putting up their energy to do well for Nigeria. Just like you said earlier, late Sunday Bada, remember watching him at the Olympics and others, did so well for Nigeria. It's been a long time, seeing Nigerian athletes competing and getting to the finals of such a very, very outstanding tournament. So we are rooting for him. And of course, I know it's going to be a difficult one. When he gets to the final, just like the 100 meters finals, you could see that all the finalists, they were all hungry for gold. They were all hungry for medals. That's exactly what we're going to see at the final of the 400 meters. But nevertheless, for him to get to this stage, I think think it's just to put another little push, for him to get a medal. I am waiting. I am so happy that he was able to get to the final. And who says that Ogazi can get Nigeria a medal? A bronze, a silver. Probably will be very, very good for him. It will be an accomplishment. It will be a record for him. And for me, I'm happy that this development is happening in our time.
Okay, actually, not only you, all Nigerians, a lot of people that love athletics are also happy for the fact that we are beginning to see our quarter-miler coming back to this race so that they can take over for the likes of late Sunday Bada and the rest of them that make us so proud when they were racing in 400 meters. Now, taking that from you, that has to do with the 100-meter race. Yes, we just have to touch on that. For the first time in the history of 100 meters men's final, it has so competitive. So competitive. Let's first of all look at that's the picture, but let's look at the race at the time of the race, or the 100 meter that they ran there. That we know that American Noella actually came forward with 9.79, just by 0.784 seconds ahead of Kishin Thompson of Jamaica. Fred Kelly, USA, 9.81. 9.82 for Akanisen Bine of South Africa. Lamont Marcel Jacobs of Italy, his own season best. Leslie Tobago of Botswana, 9.86 seconds. Kenny Bednarek of USA, and we have Oblique Seville of Jamaica, 9.91 seconds. And if you look at this particular record, as at 1989 thereabout, when Carl Lewis was still making his as one of the fastest runner in the world, then he ran 9.92. And now we have 9.91 as the last, the 8th position in 2024. It seems it's getting faster when it comes to 100-meter race, getting faster and more competitive. And if you check it, we have 2 African runners there, one from South Africa, Akanisen Bine, and one from Botswana, Leslie Tebogo, 9.82, 9.86. You check these athletes' rates out compared to ours. That's where I'm coming to now. Our athletes, Kwensula Ajayi and also Favour Ofili, ran 10 points in their own races. They couldn't even qualify for the finals. And that means that we need to up our game if you are to make it to the finals of 100 meters, because it's getting faster now. If you have 2 Africans, Simbine, Tebogo, and in fact, you cannot even get Omanyala of Kenya to make it to the final as fast as he is. Looking at this race, what is happening? It seems it's getting faster now. We need to also up our games.
Yes, Adeni, during that final, I was right there sitting watching it. I wanted to see the action live and direct, though we are not in France. It was historic, electrifying. You can call it any other names. And records have been broken. Gone are the days where we have the likes of Usain Bolt and the rest of them. Now we are seeing new champions, guys that are ready to fight, energy, and going for the gold. I was so excited to see 2 African countries, play, at the finals. Simbine from South Africa, when I watch him, he won one of his heats to qualify for the finals. I was so excited because it's good to see an African team in the finals. We also have another African team in 400 meters, I can't remember his name now, who also has been doing well, a record holder when it comes to 400 meters. That's good for us. But here in Nigeria, we need to up our game. We need to improve on it. Gone are the days where we find men competing in the athletics. Now, the ladies, the women, they've taken over. The likes of Udo and the likes of Sunday Bada and the rest of them. Even what's his name now here in Ondo State? They've done so well for Nigeria. But lately, we've not been seeing our men competing in the 100 and 200 meters final. Which is not really good. So I think that for us to bring back those days of glory in Nigerian athletics, especially when it comes to short distance races, and then we need to invest more. We need to go to the grassroots. We need to inspire, encourage our coaches to discover raw talents, and bring them up front, because there are a lot of competitions that are coming. And if we don't prepare now, it's so sad that we may not see a lot of Nigerians competing in the final. So that's the reason why I was so happy that in the 200 meter, at least we will be competing in the final of the 200 meter. But kudos to the 2 Africans that are running for us in the finals. That reminds me of the likes of Frankie Frederick. Those guys, they did so well for Africa. But this time around, is another energy. If you are not there, you are not there. So competing in 100 or 200 meters final, you have to be very, very serious with international competition. Our preparation for this kind of tournament is nothing to write home about.
Well, talking about Nigerian athletes now, because if you just race back the memory lane, you look at the likes of Ichena Medulu, Deji Aliu, Sheum, all of them doing so well. As at that time, their name rings bell. And you look at Olusoji Fashuba, not forgetting all the others that are around for Nigeria, 100 meters by now, even though they may not be able to win the gold, but you still have their name among the top. The Ezinwa brothers, Osmond and Davidson, they were also there. They did so well for Nigeria in those races. But right now, it's very difficult for us to have 100 meters. In fact, I would say maybe Olusoji Fashuba, Sheun Ogunkoya, and all that, they are the last set of Nigeria that actually make us proud when it comes to men in 100 meters. Marion Yali, Blessing Okagbare, and now that we're supposed to have Favour Ofili, well, on our own, we decided to do the unexpected. But hopefully, at least Toby Amusha has been able to give us something when it comes to 100-meter hurdles, and we'll begin to come back little by little. But it's high time AFN should deem it fit by getting those young talents out there to see how we can get back to athletics. One of our strong races when it comes to sport. We need to go back there and see how we can do it in athletics and also boxing. We're talking with Isaac Afolabi concerning Team Nigeria when it comes to 100 meters. Well, it's getting faster now. We've seen the last person, the last racer in this year's edition of Olympics actually ran 9.91 against in 1988. Carl Lewis was the fastest in the world then. He ran 9.92. It's faster now. We need to get faster too when it comes to Team Nigeria. Well, for Team Day 10 is out. Let's look at Day 11. Today's event for Team Nigeria that will be coming up. Let's look at it. Olympic Games Team Nigeria Day 10. Let's start from Kano. Kano now sprint by as we speak right now. Kano is taking place. Women's Kano double 500-meter heat. Ayomide Bello and Beauty Otuedo. They are already there trying to see how they can do it in Kano. Well, in this sport, we know that we have swimmers in Nigeria. Isaac Afolabi, Kano, well, we have our fishermen from the south part of Nigeria who could have represented us well in this. Well, we have two Nigerian ladies there, Otuedo and also Ayomide, racing right now.
Yeah, we have these natural resources in abundance. We have the young ones, most especially when it comes to the Niger Delta region, the riverine area. I was watching water polo at the Olympics, and I was saying to myself, this is an avenue to empower, to engage our youth. There are several sports, that we could push our youths to allow them to join, and, that will engage them. Water polo, swimming. And swimming is a competition, is a sport that you can harvest a lot of medals. An athlete could get 5 to 6 medals when it comes to swimming. But sadly, we are not taking it serious. Kayaking is another very, very nice sport that I think that Nigeria has the natural resources to, to venture into. We have coaches that are also ready. At the last National Sports Festival in Asaba, I was opportune to be at the competition, and I saw a lot of young talents, young girls, young boys that are ready to compete. All they just need is constant training and, of course, equipment and the coaches, well motivated, to bring the best out of them. If you look at the swimming competition at the Olympics, you'll notice that most of the girls or the athletes that are representing Nigeria are not from Nigeria, although they are Nigerians, but are not based in Nigeria. And some of them are from China, from USA, the likes of them, most of them have been sponsored by their parents, encouraged by their parents, financed by their parents. And also, this is also encouraging, but we need to do something here at home. We need to put more seriousness to sport development. Sports can engage the youth. It can bring them and give them something to really, to help themselves, to engage them, meaningfully. So I think that if we should venture into all these sort of competitions, no doubt about it, we have the natural resources, we have the natural talents that can swim and that can compete favorably well.
Well, talking about competing favorably by Team Nigeria, we're looking at events for today's schedules that they will be competing in. Let's look at it again. We talked about Kano earlier. Let's look at that list again of our events for today. Track and field now, 10:15, although they've started. Women's long jump qualification, Ruth Usoro, Ese Brume, Pristina Ochonogo, And you have women's 400 meter repechage round. Ella Onojuvevo will also be there racing in 400 meter. Men's 200 meter repechage round. Udodio Wuzirike is there by 11:30. Men's javelin throw. Chinecherem Nnamdi will be throwing javelin by 11:50. While men's 400 meter semi-final, Samuel Ogazi, the young lad we talked about, representing us there. Hopefully, you can make it to the finals. And the women's 200 meters final tonight is the night. Favour Ofili, 8:40 p.m. And in wrestling, Blessing Oborodudu will be fighting for a place in the bronze medal. Now, looking at this list of our events for today, Isaac, you want to believe with me, we have a lot in our hands to actually fight for.
Yes, we have a lot to fight for tonight. Ruth Sosoro, Ese Brume, and Favour Ofili. For me, I think Favour Ofili should get Nigeria a first medal, bronze, silver, any of those medals. I think Favour Ofili, I'm tipping her to get us a medal too.
Okay, it was about mentioning Favour Ofili getting us the medals there. She'll be running tonight in the women's 200 meter final, although she'll be racing against 100 meter winner.
I'm expecting nothing less from her.
But who says impossible is nothing? All she needs to do is to be encouraged and believe in herself. In fact, for the fact that she was able to make it to the finals of this race is a plus for Favour Ofili for being able to do it after all that happened concerning her not be able to run in the 100 meter finals, or rather qualifications there. But right now she'll be racing today, and really we're looking at the schedules for Team Nigeria today. Now, coming back to you, Isaac Afolabi, you were talking about Favour Ofili with the hope that she will get us a medal tonight.
Yes, like I said earlier, Favour Ofili, for me, she's a talent. She's also a gift for the country, and I think that tonight, Favour Ofili should be able to get us a medal, bronze or silver. I think Favour Ofili, she's in the right frame of mind at the moment. She wants to do it. She wants to prove a lot of people wrong, and she wants to get something for Nigeria. She wants to make herself proud. This is the best way to showcase her talent to the world, and I think she is ready to get us something. I'm rooting for her. I'm supporting her, and I know a lot of Nigerians are also supporting Favour Ofili for this time to get us a medal. If she can compete and come behind the winner of the 100 meter, talking about Julian Alfred in the 200 meters, coming behind her, I think she can also get something for us in the final tonight.
Now, talking about that race, I still believe Ofili can actually spring on surprise. You never can tell. Who knows, maybe she will just shock the world, the way Toby did at the world race there. Well, and anything can actually happen. Now, going back to that particular schedule for Team Nigeria today, we know that Blessing will also be fighting tonight, rather this evening by 5:15 p.m. for bronze medal match, where she will be trying to see how she can make it to at least the third place. At least it was 4 years ago, she was second, but now she's fighting to be in the third place. We're also wishing her the best there. Now, in between a long jump for Ese Brume, Ruth Sosoro, we have Ella Onojuvevo in 400 meter women repechage round, 200 meter women, rather men's repechage round, Udodio Wuzirike, Chinecherem Nnamdi in javelin. Yes, that's another athlete that will be racing, rather throwing javelin for us. While Samuel Ogazi will be racing in 400 meter semi-final. All these will be coming up today. Hopefully, they will make it. We want to see a better day 11 schedule for Team Nigeria, right, Isaac?
Yeah, for me, when it comes to throwing, some of these things, discus, throwing, hammer, and the rest of them. Yes, we are not there yet, but anything can happen when it comes to the throwing and the rest. And for me, I will always, I don't like to lament, because each time I see things differently at any. To me, these are some of the sports that I seriously believe that a lot of Nigerians, we have potentials that can compete very well when it comes to this kind of competition. Just that many of them are not given the right frame, the right environment, the right opportunity to showcase their talents. So this time around, they are going on an individual motivation, to popularize themselves, to make themselves more known to the world. So for me, we have to encourage them, because they are getting to that stage at the Olympics is not an easy task. So for me, I think the javelin guy is going to do well for himself and for the country. But seriously, I believe And I want to root for Oborodudu to come back tonight, get Nigeria a medal, that bronze medal. She deserves it. She has done well for this country. She has done well for herself. And of course, for Ofili, I'm also supporting her to go all out and get us a medal this evening. If possible, she should shock Julian, just like Julian shocked Richardson at the finals.
I love that particular moment there because Richardson actually was shocked. A lot of people were rooting for her to win, but alas, Julian Alfred did it against all odds, and she was able to win that race. In fact, the Jamaican Kishan Thompson could have shocked Noah Lives with all his razzmatazz, but just that it didn't happen. Well, it has been a roller coaster for some countries at this competition so far, talking about Paris 2024 Olympics. But let's quickly talk about football before we look at the medals table. Let's talk about the Olympic men's football. It's going to be European final, Spain versus France, while we also have African fighting for top place, Morocco and Egypt. Well, Olympics men's football final, France versus Spain, as Morocco battles Egypt for bronze. Well, whoever wins between them will actually go for bronze. Between France and Spain, whoever wins will go for gold, and the next thing will go for silver. Well, let's look at this game, Isaac. The score lines: Morocco scoring first against Spain. Spain came from behind, and they were able to turn things around against Morocco. A lot of people were already rooting for the Moroccans, and France. They went overboard. They defeated Egypt 3-1 after the extra time. What a match that went down yesterday.
I would have loved to see Morocco playing against the host nation, France, at the final. Morocco, sometimes they probably lose concentration when it comes to the game. They did that against the Ukraine, and they lost that game to Ukraine because they lost focus during the dying minutes. The Ukrainians actually got the winning goal at the dying minutes. That is exactly what is happening to the Morocco national team. Nevertheless, I think I want to commend the Northern Africans, for doing well so far at this tournament, at this Olympics. This would have been a beautiful one. We are saying that this will be a beautiful one. We have two Africans playing in the finals. Remember that the last time that the African team, won the Olympics was in Sydney in 2000, where Cameroon did it. Nigeria did it in Atlanta in 1996. Those are the two countries that have won the tournament for Africa. It will have been another very, very interesting moment to also see an African team playing in the final. But it's so sure for us now that irrespective of the results, an African team will be going with a bronze medal at the football event. So kudos to the Northern Africans for making us proud at the men's football events.
Well, kudos to them. At least we have Morocco and Egypt. They'll be vying for the third place. That's bronze medal by the time it comes up. For France and Spain, let them renew their charge. The enmity will actually continue there between France and Spain at this competition for the under-23 football. Congrats to all of them. And for Morocco and Egypt, really, they've shown how developed their football is really getting. You see Morocco at the World Cup. You see how they actually run their football business. Also look at the Egyptian league. Always Zamalek, Al Ahly of this world dominating African football when it comes to CAF. And you look at Moroccans, both women and men, also doing so well. And really, football has come to stay when it comes to how they manage it well in North Africa. Be it Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt, all of them really know how to run business of football. And in fact, they don't joke with any sport. We met with one of their, that's a cyclist, and we saw the kind of cycle that they brought to Nigeria. It was a wow to our own cyclists. They could not believe their eyes. So they don't joke with sport. They know how important sport is, and that is why our government too, both from local government, state and federal, should really look into sport to avoid a lot of problems that we are facing in this country. Well, right now, let's talk about the women football fixtures for today that will be coming up. We know that US will be facing Germany and Brazil, Spain. Well, Afolabi, I want to take you on just the score line. A big one's coming up there between USA, Germany, and Brazil, Spain. Where are you standing?
I think the US will get their way. They will be able to get a victory over the Germans, though the Germans did so well as well by eliminating Canada, via penalty. But I think the United States of America are very, very, very well ready for this. And for Brazil and Japan, I think
Brazil,
no,
Spain.
Brazil. I think Brazil is going to be a difficult one for Brazil because Brazil at this moment, although they find their way to the semi-final, but their way to the semi-final has always been a very, very challenging one for me. But I think US will get an edge over Germany, while Spain should be able to edge Brazil out this time around. So to me, it's going to be US Spain in the finals.
Well, it's going to be tough because we know that Spain met with Brazil, if you remember, during our group stage, and Spain defeated Brazil. So Brazil will not want to back down to be defeated twice. That would be like, seriously, twice shy. So they want to at least put up a very strong face against Spanish team. But we know that it seems football has come to stay, really. This time around with Spain, they've been winning everything, both male and female team, and really dominating the world right now. So they want to also go for it. Again, between USA and Germany, a tough one there. Let the best team win. We've been talking about football moment at the Olympics for this year. And now, let's look at how the table is standing. Well, for the medal table at the Olympics, USA, yes, they are back now. They are now topping, and they are happy. It has been China dominating, but now it's USA with 21 gold, 30 silver, 28 bronze, in total of 79. And you have China, People's Republic of China, they have 21 gold, 18 silver, 14 bronze, with 53 as total. While France, the host nation, are having 48 in total, 13 gold, alongside Australia. And while you have Great Britain, I still always wonder, Afolabi, whenever they want to compete, Great Britain will always come together so that they can earn more medal or what? So, well, when it comes to football, you see England, you see Scotland, they will always be playing differently, Wales. But when it comes to the Olympics, Great Britain will all come together. And now they are standing fifth with 12 gold, 13 silver, 17 bronze, and 42 in all. South Korea, well, can you beat that? South Korea, they're standing sixth, Japan seventh, Italy eighth, Netherlands and Germany standing the top 10 in the current table of 2024 Olympics. Afolabi.
Yeah, from number 1 to 5th position, the first and to the 5th position, I am not surprised at all. These are countries that are constantly dominating sports. When it comes to international competitions in athletics, give it to the United States of America, expect more from them. China also, well, I am surprised that China this time, they've been able to go out to compete very well with the United States of America. China, they put more pressure, more attention on some sports that they know that they have competitive advantage in. Exactly what Australia is also doing. The Australian team, they know that, yes, when it comes to swimming and other aquatic sports, they have high advantage over every other country. So they are putting more energy into it. That's exactly what the United States of America are also doing, knowing the fact that, yes, this is what we know how to do best. When it comes to water sports, when it comes to, math games, we have serious advantage over other countries. So they invest more into it. So I'm not surprised that the number 1 to the 5th position are there dominating sports, in the world, but I'm just particular about Africa this time around. But so good that we have South Africa on the medals table, though not in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, or 8th, even in the 9th position, but it's good to see them there. But for the 1st to the 5th position, I think these are countries that are serious when it comes to sport development, and it's playing out well for them.
Well, as it's playing out well for them, we can also take a cue. Really, like I mentioned earlier, state government, local government, federal government just need to look into sports. Sport is really a very, very vital tool that can be used to solve a lot of problems in Nigeria, be it unemployment, be it social vices of youthful, maybe unrest and all that. A lot of them will be busy, competing, vying for honors to see how they will do well, and also get to take good care of their families, because they become breadwinners in different sports they find themselves. We saw that young man, Duplantis, what he did for pole vault. No one has ever done that. Just yesterday, you saw what he did, being able to win back-to-back gold medal at the Olympics. For a long time ago, I was able to interview a young boy who was into pole vault in Nasarawa or thereabout, and now I'm sure maybe he's discouraged or thereabout for the fact that there was no who will go for pole vault. You understand? A lot of Nigerians who are into hockey, all those sports that are not too pronounced, they get discouraged because attention is always on football. Now, look at the Olympics now. We can only get one gold medal in football, and we are even out. Look at all the athletes we've mentioned today, be it in discus or rather javelin, in long jump, in 200 meters, 100-meter races. These are athletes. These are other sportsmen and women. We have handball, basketball, volleyball. We just have to look into all these sports and see how we can also harness them and get the best for Nigeria. A lot of talented young ones out there. It's high time just allow talents to do it, not about who knows who, or because it's my son or my uncle or my aunt that should be there. Let's just put the right people there. Rampegi Roundhole should do the business for Nigeria. A food for thought there for our sports development in Nigeria. We've been talking with Isaac Afolabi, joining us from Akure, Ondo State. Isaac Afolabi has been with us. But before we let you go, Isaac, let's quickly dash to Imo State, where they have Heartland FC. Heartland FC are back to life because they appointed former Nigeria international, former African Player of the Year, Amuneke, as their coach. He will be the one to tinker the tank of that team.
I expect so much from Coach Emmanuel Amuneke, but let me chip this in. I want to liken Nigerians, sports fans, particularly football fans in Nigeria, to the biblical Israelites. No matter your status, no matter what you've been able to do, if they are not getting the desired result from you, they will criticize you, they will condemn you. That's exactly what happened to Coach Emmanuel Amuneke. He has done well for Nigeria. He was former African Footballer of the Year. He has tutored several clubs, like the national team in Tanzania. He has played for Barcelona. He has won the African Cup of Nations for Nigeria in 1994, scoring one of the goals at the World Cup. So rich CV for Coach Emmanuel Amuneke, but, a lot of Nigerians who want to see him doing that. They want to see him doing that at home. And I'm so happy that he was able to land this job for himself. This is another opportunity for him to prove critics wrong. It's another opportunity for him to prove them wrong that he is a technical advisor that can handle any team, be it national or Nigerian domestic league. So I'm happy that they've been able to get him that appointment. I don't want him to misuse this opportunity. I want him to make use of this opportunity. There's this native intelligence. This way we handle our league in Nigeria. Nigerian league is different from other leagues in Europe. So you must have the basic knowledge of how to handle Nigerian league, how to handle Nigerians, how to treat the referees. These are some of the things that are lacking in the CV of Coach Emmanuel Amuneke. So getting this job this time around, I think is good for him, is good for the state. I hope that they will be more serious this time around because they got relegated last season. They only managed to secure another ticket, with the support of another team. And so this time around, I want them to put more seriousness when it comes to facility. They must improve their facility. This facility needs to be upgraded. The coach and the welfare of the team must be paramount to the state government. And I read the media officer's statement when he released it yesterday. He said Coach Emmanuel Amuneke will be reporting directly to the governor. So I think this is another way to say that probably the coach will be dealing with the governor. I will be having first-hand support from the government. Yes, we are encouraging other private stakeholders to invest in sport in Nigeria. But if the government has to do it, then they must do it in the right way. So I congratulate Coach Emmanuel Amuneke, and I'm expecting so much from him.
Hopefully, a big one there. At least we are having set of 1994 in our football league. While Amuneke will be with Heartland, we know that Finidi Joe will be with Rivers United. What's the way to go for Nigerian football development? And now, quickly, let's dash abroad. Let's talk about two transfers before we leave the show. Let's talk about Atletico Madrid. As we speak right now, they offer Joe Felix to Man City on loan for Julian Alvarez. They really want to go for Alvarez, and from the way it is, they also have to come up with someone, and Joe Felix is the player they are offering in replacement.
If you look at even in the picture, Joe Felix is looking at them like, what, me? Joe Felix lost his penalty, for France, which, caused them to miss for Portugal, I beg your pardon, at the just concluded Euro tournament. And of course, it's still a heartbreaking one for him. He has not really been consistent. He has not really been the Joe Felix that we used to know while very active. And of course, for Alvarez, he did well for Argentina in this Olympics, and he's been very, very active, good, delivering for, Manchester City. So I think it should be a good swap for the team, but I am still not convinced that Alvarez really wants to Manchester City. Pep Guardiola is not interested in his services anymore.
A tough one there for Julian Alvarez there. We're still talking about Atletico, but this time around they have something in common with Chelsea. As we look at that story right now, Chelsea in talks with Atletico over a deal, £35 million for Spanish forward Samu Omorodudu. Omorodudu has been a revolution so far. In fact, you look at him in the Spain team, and also with Atletico Madrid, and now Chelsea are really trying to see how they can go for him. And also we heard that possibly they could be back for Osimhen. But right now, let's talk about Omorodudu quickly before we wrap it up. Isaac.
Yeah, Omorodudu, coming to Chelsea would be a good one for him. Although Chelsea have just been going to the market and getting all players that they could lay their hand on, in this season. So much. A lot of Chelsea fans are not really even expecting so much from Chelsea this season. Because even in the friendlies that have been playing, they have been playing lately, international friendlies with clubs. They've been whitewashed by several clubs. But not to say that Chelsea is not a team to recognize when it comes to the EPL. So I think it will be a good one for him. Him and Adara Bioyo, fortify the Chelsea defense line. It will be a good one for him. Every defender, every player, most players will always want to play in the EPL. So for me, it's a good one for him. I watched him play for the Spanish national team at the Olympics. He did so well. In fact, he scored a goal for Spain. So that means that he's not only a defender, he also has a sense of converting goals.
Well, for Sam Omorodudu there, Chelsea, although he's already wearing blue color, although that is his stripe on, he's not a full blue. So now, if everything goes well, he could be moving to Chelsea as a player there. Now, on a lighter note, maybe you should represent Nigeria in shot put. You look like those that in shot put sport or discus, right?
Anyway, I love table tennis, I love basketball, and I love football. I love all sports, but what we are clamoring for now is that at least the government and the rest, just like you said earlier, should look into sports. Sport has the capacity to empower a lot of players, a lot of youths. You may not be a footballer, you may be a manager, you may be a team doctor, you may be a masseur, you may be a kids manager. Several opportunities in sports.
Well, like I used to say, that whatever you study, you can actually work in sport. I've not seen that particular discipline that you actually did, that you can't work in sport. In every sphere of life, sports is really very, very important. Well, we've been with Isaac Afolabi. We want to appreciate your time with us on the show 360 Sport. Thank you so much, Afolabi.
Thank you so much, Adini, and thank you to every of your crew for having me this morning. I'm so grateful.
Okay, let me give you the politician, Isaac Afolabi there. Anyway, that's it on the show 360 Sport on Trust TV. We hope that Team Nigeria will do us proud tonight. Favour Ofili, blessing Oborodudu, competing in the final 200 meter, and also in the race for bronze in wrestling. We wish them the best. I'm Adeni Jishafe. Thanks for watching.